Tapos na ang buhat niya, sa langit mo pahulay kita. Si Jesus nag-andam, daghang puloy-anan, mubalik siya kuhaon niya kita. Padayon sa pag-alagad, padayon lang, matinumanon mapailubon sa adlawng tanan. Sa pagbalik ni Jesus, kita iyang gantihan, kinabuhing way katapusan. Daghang pagsulay dinhis kalibutan, si Jesus kanunay anda mo tabang isulti kaniya tanang kagulanan. Kay si Jesus mahigugmaon man, padayon sa pag-alagad, padayon lang, matinumanon mapailubon sa adlawng tanan. Sa pagbalik ni Jesus, kita iyang gantihan, kinabuhing way katapusan. Padayon sa pag-alagad, padayon lang, matinumanon mapailubon sa adlawng tanan. Sa pagbalik ni Jesus, kita iyang gantihan, kinabuhing way katapusan. Kinabuhing way katapusan. Kinabuhing way katapusan. Let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in God and in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. I go to prepare a place for thee. The Lord is coming, are you ready? The Lord is coming, are you ready? Would your hearts be right if He came tonight? The Lord is coming, are you ready? Why will you wait, my brother? Promises of God all are true. Jesus bought your life on Calvary's mountain, and soon He will come again for you. The Lord is coming, are you ready? The Lord is coming, are you ready? Would your hearts be right if He came tonight? The Lord is coming, are you ready?
Bless the Lord, oh my soul. Welcome to this series, Set Up a Bright Future. I'm going to share with you some elements of ensuring our children to be resilient against this troublesome world. Amidst this dark, gloomy society, where truths are covered with lots of disguises, there is still hope for your children to live, grow, and become the persons parents want them to be. Just like the lilies, they survive whatever type of waters they are into. Clean, muddy, and even black. They live, grow, and share beautiful, pure, lovely flowers that we admire so much. No wonder why Jesus was compared to the lily. The song says, He's the lily of the valley, the bright and morning star. He's the fairest of 10,000 to my soul. When he came to this muddy, dark world, Jesus stood firm, pure and surely good. He never faltered, never stumbled. He became the exemplar of how to become resilient against all manner of evils. Jesus, the model. And so our topic for today is Wholesome Child in the Middle of a Corrupt Society. I'm always telling this, that education begins at home. This is from Ellen White as well. Ellen White in her book, Child Guidance, said, "It is in the home that the education of the child is to begin. Here is his first school. Here with his parents as instructors, he is to learn the lessons that are to guide him throughout life. Lessons of respect, obedience, reverence, self-control." Child Guidance 17.1. I believe that when children possess these characteristics, they can be like the lilies that thrive amidst this muddy world. The educational influences of the home are a decided power for good or for evil. They are in many respects silent and gradual, but if exerted on the right side, they become a far-reaching power for truth and righteousness. If the child is not instructed right here, mind you, Satan will educate him through agencies of his choosing. That is why Ellen White suggests the importance of the school in the home. One, she said, here the foundations are laid. In the home, the foundations are laid. Upon all parents, there rests the obligation of giving physical, mental, and spiritual instruction. It should be the object of every parent to secure to his child a well-balanced, symmetrical character. This is a work of no small magnitude and importance, a work requiring earnest thought and prayer, no less than patient, persevering effort. That is why Gil Fernandez once wrote, "One can grow a rank and a luxuriant crop of obnoxious weeds by simply doing nothing. But beautiful, fragrant flowers are the end of a well-planned and sustained effort in the garden. Just so, children who are disgrace to the family, blight to society, and curse to mankind need no tending, but to raise children who will bring justifiable pride and joy to their parents. A blessing to the world and an honor to God requires vigilance, patience, effort." So, parents are to do their best in establishing a framework. A right foundation must be laid, a framework strong and firm erected, and then day by day the work of building polishing, perfecting must go forward. Child Guidance 17.2. Second, education in the child's earliest years. This is very important in the home. Deny the child anything but this right. Parents, remember that your home is a training school in which your children are to be prepared for the home above. Deny them anything rather than the education that they should receive in their earliest years. Allow no word of pettishness. Teach your children to be kind and patient. Teach them to be thoughtful of others. Thus, you are preparing them for higher ministry in religious things. They will be the children amidst this corrupt world. Or the importance of the school in the home. Home education is foremost. Home education not be regarded as a secondary matter. Many, if not all of us, are working parents, mothers, and fathers. Our work demands so much time and involvement. If we are not clever in allocating time, the education in the home might be taken for granted. We then hand this sacred role of training and educating our children to other people and agencies. Remember, there is no substitute to parents' tender love and care. I always go back to what the Bible says. Actually, this is our prime text for this series. Basic among all is found in Proverbs 22:6. Train children to live the right way, and when they are old, they will not stray from it. I've been telling this since the start. Nurturing children the right way is a mandate, my friends, for they should possess the character inherent of God. Home education occupies the first place in all true education according to Ellen White. Fathers and mothers have entrusted to them the molding of their children's minds. It is where the children are indeed fashioned in character after the similitude of a palace. A proverb states, as the twig is bent, the tree is inclined. This has important implications in our children's training. Parents, our children's education is relevantly committed to us. These youth are to be trained that whatever they will be assigned or wherever they will be assigned to, they could stand and flourish beautifully like the water lilies. As parents, the first teachers, what are we supposed to teach in the home? Number one, God's requirements. This is very basic, my friends. God mandated the Israelites that their children be taught His requirements. What are these requirements? Love God above all and love others as themselves. The components of God's law. This is the 10 Commandments. And made them oriented with how He deals with them. Here, the home and the school are one. Number two, all home events be associated with God. Parents were to give instructions with a loving heart where thoughts of God were associated with all the events inside the home, in all the activities. Might be work, study, play, worship, and even parties, trips, etc. These activities must at all times be associated with God. I remember the words written by George Knight. in his book, Walking with Jesus on the Mount of Blessings, 1996. He said, Christianity's visibility must be evident in all the activities of daily life. In the manner in which I order a meal in a restaurant, in the way I treat those I live with, in the way I relate to those I work with, in the way I use my tongue, in the way I play a game or drive a car, in everything I do or don't do. Christianity must be visible in me. This is what it means our thoughts and activities are centered to Christ. 3, how God delivered us from the bondage. Let us teach our children how God delivered us from the bondage of sin. During Israel's time, Israel's children were regularly refreshed of how God delivered them from the bondage. Here's the importance of the parents' role in telling Bible stories. Slowly but surely you are inculcating into the minds of our children how God's people literally were saved from the bondage of Egypt, and relate this story to the present time's bondage of the people from sin. Educate our children of the relevance of getting away from sin and its implications of performing and doing better lives through living a life away from it and enjoying life with Christ. A clean, peaceful life creates in a child's mind the reverence of living, associating with others, harmoniously meets this troublesome world. 4, impressed in the child's mind that God truly exists. Yes, today, when we forget this, one of the most important things of teaching our children, of what to teach our children, we will lose our child. During the Israelites' time, the great truth of God's existence and His providences were impressed into the minds of every child. They were acquainted with God, who is the way, the truth, and the life. Child Guidance 19.1. 5. Lessons given were illustrated by the use of figures and symbols. In this way, they will have concrete examples of the real life in this real world. Through this animated imagery, the child was, almost from infancy, initiated into the mysteries, the wisdom, and the hopes of his fathers, and guided in a way of thinking and feeling and anticipating that reach beyond things seen and transitory to the unseen and eternal. Education in the Nazareth home. Jesus secured his education in the home. His mother was his first human teacher. From her lips and from the scrolls of the prophets, he learned of heavenly things. He lived in a peasant's home and faithfully and cheerfully acted his part in bearing the household burdens. That was the experiences of Jesus when he was here on earth, living with his father and mother. He who had been the commander of heaven was a willing servant, a loving, obedient son. He learned a trade, and with his own hands worked in the carpenter's shop with Joseph. We should teach our children the right way, my friends. Beloved, To produce a wholesome child in the middle of a corrupt society is tough, but doable. Foremost, let us build our home the concrete foundations where Christ is the center of every activity. Let us teach them how the young Jesus lived and associated with the society. He was taught one, God's requirements, God's law, the Ten Commandments. It is summarized into two, love God above all and love others as themselves. Two, all home events be associated with God. Three, getting away from sin. Four, make them fully believe that God truly exists and He will come again to bring us into that home He prepared. Five, show them how Jesus lived. Jesus worked, assisted His parents. This is physical. Associated with others. This is social. Uphold religious beliefs and values. This is spiritual. Hence, He was well-rounded. He was a well-rounded person. He lived life holistically. And so let us introduce Jesus to our children and make them love Jesus most. Let them emulate His character, uphold His beliefs, and live life in consonance with Him. Surely, if we have done this, we will have children that will live in the midst of this corrupt society. Blessings to you and see you again.